Welcome back to the Money List. So the bloodbath continues with the market selling off. So in this video, we are going to look at what is my opinion, how much lower we can go at this particular moment, and for what reasons. And then we're going to look at several CNBC clips because everyone is talking about a rotation from semis and chips into another category. So what is that category and where is the money going to rotate in? Because I don't see a rotation at this moment. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to give you several stocks that I think have either hit a bottom or are about at their bottom. And I think they're good buys. And as always, nothing on this channel is financial advice. And if I reply to any of your comments, that is not financial advice either. I'm just giving you my opinion on how I trade and how I'm trying to make money and what's on my money list. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is the Nasdaq chart, and I'm going to give you my opinion as to what I think is going to happen until the midterm elections. Okay, so this is the 1-year chart of the Nasdaq. This yellow line is where we are currently at today, which is a 5.5% dip from its all-time high. This 8% is the next support level that we may be approaching, which will represent an 8% dip from its high. This 20% line represents Tom Lee's comment that there will be a policy change and we will see a 20% dip. And this red line is the year low, which is the 37% liberation day. I do not see a 37% dip coming until the midterms. If that happens, I think the midterms will cause a 20% dip, like Tom Lee keeps saying. So I am not buying calls until I see this 20% dip, which puts us at about 19,000 on the Nasdaq. However, I will buy shares because I think some stocks have bottomed. And tomorrow's video, I will give you several that I think have bottomed already. So, do we hit this 8% and then bounce back for a relief rally? I think we do, because there's no policy change. Nothing has happened yet. This 5% sell-off is only profit taking, and we're going to see it in the clips that I play in a couple minutes. And we saw here, when it hit this 8%, a relief rally. When it hit this bottom, relief rally. It hit this bottom, relief rally. There could be a relief rally tomorrow because so many stocks got slammed so hard. It feels like we are at a 20% dip with some stocks. So that's my opinion. I don't think we go lower than this 8% because there's no reason for it. And so many stocks have sold off so much, I don't see it until there's a policy change. And of course, I'm being very cautious with what I'm buying. I'm only buying shares, and I have to be 100% convinced that we are at the bottom or near the bottom before I buy. Next, we're going to look at a CNBC clip that explains that the big money on Wall Street is shorting the AI software stocks.
And Leslie, hedge funds are increasingly shorting their bets against software stocks. That's according to the conversation we had with two prominent funds today. The latest data from S3 Partners does show about a $24 billion windfall so far in software stocks this year. The hedge fund sources wouldn't comment on specific names, but it does speak to the speed at which these stocks have been falling and the momentum that we've been seeing to the downside. Speaking of today's biggest losers, take a look at AppLovin. Palantir giving back the big gains it saw yesterday tied to its strong earnings report, and Intapp down about 17% just today. There are some names that are bouncing back: Adobe, Workday, RingCentral, looking to sort of claw back some of the losses from earlier in the week.
And as we've seen, all of these AI software stocks like Salesforce, Microsoft, Adobe, Palantir, AppLovin, they've all posted excellent earnings and growth. So it becomes an overspending on AI issue, and it becomes a guidance issue, and a high price to earnings and forward high price to earnings.
Seema, when you look for comments from CEOs that are trying to kind of defend their position in the software space right now, are there any messages that are actually getting through to the market? Because it does feel like there's just this kind of broad-based selling in the sector. And I'm just curious if there are any defenses that are actually working in the current environment.
That's a great point. So far, the message from CEOs is one of strength. You're not seeing any attrition from companies like ServiceNow or others that are reporting better than expected numbers. I would say the guide has been a bit more conservative, so that is something that we're going to look for in the coming days, not just from Atlassian and Fortinet, but next week we have Monday.com, Datadog, companies that are seen as more as AI beneficiaries, whether they can defend their business models and show that they're not seeing that threat or seeing customers move away to these more disruptive platforms.
Now let's look at a clip from the chart master as he makes the case to bet against the semis and put your money on software, which I think the big money on Wall Street is going to do because they already shorted all of the software stocks like Salesforce. So it's just a matter of time until they start piling into that.
Let's get to work. There are three lines. The middle line is the whole. That is the tech sector. And you've got two of the parts, one plunging, that of course is software, and one surging, that is semis. What's starting to happen now, of course, is that semis are succumbing, and ultimately it means that there should be lower prices for the tech sector. But you can see quite clearly this spread, again, this versus this, and on a 3-year basis, the sector is up 100, semis up 150, software up 50, i.e. semis have tripled the performance of. Now, this same chart, let's hold the whole as a constant. So if you look at the next chart, this is going to be the tech sector unchanged, held as a constant, to expose the two parts. So the whole, again, is there in the middle, and then you see this incredible spread. And what I think the play here, actually, is to bet against semis, we'll get a nice green arrow, and to play this for mean reversion. Nothing to do with any fundamentals. Nothing to do with whether this is the end of software because of AI. Nothing to do with the long-term structural growth in semis. They're no longer cyclical and just in computers. Now they're in your refrigerator and every other darn thing. It's just a trade. Play it, we like, for mean reversion.
Now let's look at another clip that reinforces the idea that the large cap AI tech stocks are posting good numbers, but they're selling off because they were just overinflated.
Well, I think the market's response is the answer. It's barely up, right? So the stock was 350 2 days ago. It's indicated now in the aftermarket.
I feel a pair of twos are coming.
339.
Really?
So
holding on to these gains.
No, what
that
gains?
have
Wait,
been
wait,
made.
2%?
No, holding on to the year-to-date gains relative
Wait,
to
hold
the
on. The
sector.
2% gain?
No, not the 2%.
Okay, which one?
The gains year-to-date.
But here's the point. On the tariff low, this was $140. It's now $355. Yesterday's high, $350. We just got a good number, all cylinders, and which is true. But the market is saying it's come too far. It's full. I would sell calls against it or trim my longs.
Selling calls and trimming a position that's run a lot is what I was doing over the last couple of days, both for myself and for clients. I just think you're not going to feel bad taking a little off the table. In the tape we have for Google, especially because that position has become oversized for most people, I think you have to be careful about that.
And now let's look at another clip that reinforces the idea that the AI trade is growing, but some stocks just got overinflated. And this clip is about ARM Holdings, which traded negative after positive earnings and after hours, but is trading higher today. So in my opinion, it trades lower tomorrow. We saw the same thing with Supermicro. It traded higher the next day and then dropped back down today. And the question I have is, will this happen with Amazon today after earnings? And of course, Amazon is not just strictly AI, but will their CapEx spending be too much? Will their earnings per share barely beat? Etc., etc. And based on what we've seen, Amazon looks like it might post excellent numbers, but it will get sold off.
It's another case of where the guide just isn't enough. We're seeing an EPS and a revenue beat for the third quarter, so earnings per share 43 cents on revenues of $1.24 billion. Ben just talked about, if they guide up, investors will forgive. Well, it seems like that's not the case right now because shares are down 7%, and ARM did guide a little higher. Q4 EPS of the midpoint was 58 cents. The street wanted 57 cents, so really only a 1 cent difference. Q4 revenue guide, $1.47 billion. The street was at $1.44 billion. There is a 19-page shareholder letter. I was trying to skim right now. In that shareholder letter, they said there's strong momentum for AI across every layer of the AI stack, from edge to cloud. They said they're going to be separating their business into edge AI, which is smartphones, IoT, physical AI, so auto and robotics, and then cloud AI. And then one line stood out. They said that, with AI, workloads are constantly running, especially with agentic AI, and they're going to be power constrained constrained. They're arguing that's where CPUs will be in top demand. These are central processing units that ARM specializes in, that Intel specializes in, that AMD specializes in. But nonetheless, really, it's another story of just the guide not being high enough for this market. Shares down 8.5%, guys.
With all that said, my top 3 AI software stocks is number 1, Adobe, which has the best valuation out of the 3, and I think sitting on shares is very safe. Number 2, Salesforce. Their AI agentic service is growing, and they're a beast with enterprise. No one is going to change from Salesforce to somebody else. And the same thing with Adobe. And number 3, my riskier one is Big Bear AI. They're still not positive with their earnings, but they're growing. They're in the military defense, and that is the stock that I see doubling the fastest over the next 18 months. But of course, it is riskier. But I have $5 calls with Big Bear AI, and I have shares. And I'm looking at the $4 call if it goes to 4, which in this market, it probably will. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video, and make sure you hit the notification button because I'm going to start uploading videos before I go to bed, and they will post at 6:30 a.m. It takes 4 hours to upload a 20-minute video and 2 hours to upload a 10-minute video. So I will either have a 6:30 a.m. video that you can watch during breakfast, on your way to work, or on your lunch break, or I will have a 5 to 6 p.m. evening video. Once again, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.